Good morning, everybody. Mike Nelson from efficientlending.net. Thanks so much for taking time to visit my blog and my YouTube channel. I know you're busy and I always appreciate it when people take time to check out my online content. Hey, the topic for today is going to be down payment assistance programs, also commonly referred to as DPAs. I see a lot of information out there. Hey, just do a quick Google search and you'll see things saying, hey, free, easy money, gifts, grants, amortizing, things of that nature. And I think DPAs can be great, but I certainly think you need to understand what they are and costs associated and things of that nature. So the audience for this post is really real estate agents and buyers, people in the market, and hopefully you find it useful. But before I get there, I want to talk to you about one of my absolute favorite organizations that I've ever come across. It's a school in Washington, D.C. called Cornerstone Schools of Washington, D.C. And a good friend of our family's, a classmate of my wife's in college, Derek Max, is the executive director, and I believe his wife works there as well. I'll tell you what, there is just so much noise right now on Facebook, social media, everywhere about just everything going on in the world. And so I'm just kind of sitting there last night just on my computer and just getting a barrage of all this information. I'm like, man, I want to post about something that I think is just all about good. And if you can't get behind a great school doing incredibly wonderful things in Washington, D.C., then I don't know what you can get behind. I can sit here and tell you how much I love the faculty, staff, all those things. But let me tell you something. It is about the kids. And I've personally visited there. I believe my wife has too. And when you take a tour, and by the way, you can schedule a tour online. So go to their website. I've got all their information posted on my YouTube channel below, but also on my blog if you're catching it there. But schedule a visit. You're going to go into classrooms, and I will tell you what, when you see these students working, just how bright they are, energetic, just their love for learning, you're going to fall in love with this place. So check out the links I've posted. If you're looking for a cause to get behind where you want to directly impact your money to directly impact the people in need. I'm not talking about faculty, staff, etc. I'm talking about a student trying to better their life. This is a great organization to get behind. And I know Derek would love to talk to you about it as well. All right, topic at hand. Let's talk about DPA assistance programs, or down payment assistance programs, DPAs that I should say. Now, before we get into it, I want to make sure that my bias in this is completely clear for everybody. I think DPAs are great when used in the right circumstance. They are expensive, almost always, and there's costs associated with the money, whether it be a grant or an amortizing second. So when a DPA is used improperly, I think it's incredibly expensive versus other alternatives in the marketplace. When it's used properly, I think it's better, and it's better because it's giving a borrower or a family the alternative to rent. And there are so many tax advantages to renting and things like that it has to be considered. So just want to let you know that. Now, on my blog, you will see 3 articles that I've put up trying from different authors at Mortgage Reports, just trying to get some information in the marketplace, give you more information outside of my personal bias, so they're there. Now, let me define a down payment assistance program. Okay. Usually, and this is not always, usually there is a FHA first. And so the borrower has to qualify for the FHA first. And then there's some type of alternative financing, second, grant, whatever, that's coming in as a second that is providing the down payment assistance. And typically there are 3 types of down payment assistance. The first, as I said, is a grant, and that is if you fulfill terms of the down payment assistance program. It might be you have to be in the loan, meaning you can't refinance this loan for X number of years. So, hey, what if you get a job change, job promotion, you have to move, and then there's a penalty associated with a refinance. You got to think about those things. So, a grant, i.e. where the money is given, you don't have to pay it back via a loan. There's still a cost to it potentially. Make sure your loan officer tells you what's associated with the grant, because if it makes you stay or a penalty to moving, that's definitely a cost. It may not be appropriate to you. So you got to understand what a grant really is. The second kind can be a soft second. You may hear it as a silent second, and that's where, okay, let's say I've got $10,000 of down payment assistance. It's going to sit as a second to my first. and it's not going to amortize, don't have to pay it back, but I have to stay in the loan for 36 months or something of that nature. And once that happens, it is forgiven. So similar to the grant, there can be and usually are costs, penalties, costs, terms, conditions, restrictions, guidelines associated with the soft second. Make sure you know what those are. The last type is, the third type is called an amortizing second. Now, typically, to qualify for the grant or the silent type of down payment assistance, you have to have income restricted below the FHA or AMI, the adjusted median income of the area. And usually, in many calculations, it's 115% of whatever that number is. So let's say your income is less than 150% of the adjusted median income for the area, you qualify for the first two. But what if it's higher than that? Well, that's where the third option comes in, which is the amortizing second. Now, the program that I like and the one I use that my company supports as well allows two options on the second. The first is you can pay it back at a set interest rate over 30 years, or the second is you can pay it back over 10 years at 0% interest. Those are two good options. The thing I want to make sure everybody understands is that money is never free. Each one of those could have, and usually does, some types of restrictions, guidelines. The FHA First may have a premium associated with it that makes that FHA First more expensive than it would be if you were not using down payment assistance. So my only point is this: it can be a great tool. It is usually expensive. So when you see things that say, hey, it's free, or it's a grant, you don't have to pay it back, I approach that with caution. Trust me, in this business, nobody is going to give you their money for free. Now, just use yourself as an example. You're working hard every day. You're putting money in your savings account. If I walk up to you and say, hey, I want to buy a house, give me your money for free, are you going to do that? Well, no. And neither are the other investors as well. All right. Complex topic. I have literally generalized here and touched on just the very tip of it. As always, feel free to call me, send me a text, note, email if you'd like some more information. I'm more than happy to help in any way that I can. And the point is this: money's not free. Make sure you understand the costs associated with your loan so it's appropriate for your situation. Thanks again so much for spending time with me. Can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Hope you have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.